Nah, never did.
Yark, what up, fellas?
Hey, how's it going?
What's going
Man,
on, man? What's
another
going on?
Wednesday. Like we like Nick Cannon, another Wild Out Wednesday. But first off, good evening, everybody. I'm Ernest Bowen with Grey Hog Kennels. And I got my man right next to me over here, Dennis Vergara for Gar Bulls. I want to introduce our special guest that we got this evening. It's our boy Jonathan. Jonathan is a bully breeder, and he's with a muscle above the rest bully kennels.
That's right.
So, Jonathan, go ahead and just let the people know who you are and what's the dog you got there in your head.
Man, my name is Jonathan, man, and I'm the founder of A Muscle Above the Wrist. My kennels going on 5 years now. Mainly a pocket breeder, but I'm pretty knowledgeable of the XLs, and pretty much all bully classes. This
Okay.
little pup right here, this is Whiskey. This is my newest addition, a puppy. It's not my production, but I got this from He came from Monroe, Louisiana. He has a mixture of muscle tone, which is my favorite blood, Rocco, a little mixture of everything.
So, you say muscle tone is one of your favorite. Rocco is one of the most, and if I'm correct me if I'm right, he's one of those bullies that everybody likes, correct?
Yeah, I would say probably he's one of the most prestige dogs, I would say,
Yeah.
because he's one that went on to win nationals, grand champion, and I would say he probably has the most production. I think that's champ and grand champ, one of the most that has the most production.
I guess with that question, like whenever I was about to ask, like about production studs, they say a stud you take the most produced male.
Right.
Has he ever outthrown, outshined himself, and produced himself?
Uh, I think he has, and I think if he hasn't, I would say he's gotten close
Okay, that's
with
understandable.
several dogs, and I say and his stud fees up there pretty high too. So I mean, he's actually something that's pretty sought after.
No, I get you. I get
Mhm.
you. So
Jonathan, do
what was the other blood?
Muscle tone is actually the one that I prefer the most, and that's just because I just like the muscle definition of those dogs, and
Understand.
the name goes with the physique or the stature that they
So it
have.
lives up to its name.
Right, right.
Understand.
what's up?
What are you about to ask me?
No, I was gonna ask. I've heard this dog a lot in the American Bully. Dax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he a pocket or what?
He's a pocket.
Oh, okay.
And he's I would probably say the first American bully that was, I'm not gonna say the founder, but I would say probably close to the founder, because
Okay.
if you look at it, everything, the father of Rocco's off of him. Uh, he's another prestige. Lucky Luciano is off of him. So it's a lot of dogs that basically he is the founder. I say that, I correct that, he is the founder, because
Oh,
everything kind of started with him as far as producing the American Bully look now.
um,
So
I don't know. I've heard crazy stories out there, but I don't know. Some people say that he was an OD. I've heard crazy stories. So, you know,
That's, I mean, that 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 English bulldog, or what, Odie, or whatever you want to call it,
yeah.
they closely resemble each other. I will say
Okay.
that. So I mean,
What's up, Jose?
if the papers were hung, I would say that I will believe it.
No, hey,
It,
hey,
it, it, it's
it's
we
all
it's
gonna
good.
get to
Yeah.
that. We
it's
definitely gonna get to that.
it's believable. I would say that it's believable.
It's
Okay.
understandable.
Okay.
So you said you've been in this 5 years, yeah? Well,
Yeah,
did you breed anything before you got to the bullies?
man. I had my dad had German shepherds, and of course, we had pit bulls and different things like that. So I just kind of wanted to venture off into the bullies, just again because of the physique, like because of the
Okay.
stature of the dog. But of course, just learning more and in depth more about dogs, you have to be considerate of their health as well, because
Yeah.
having a big muscular dog that can't do anything, I mean, that's no good either. You might as well,
Well,
you can just get a poodle or something if that's the case.
Yeah.
so what do you mean having a like? Is there one of the bully breeds you're saying like having a big muscular dog that really can't do anything, or is it just overall dog that's so muscular big?
Just I mean, sometimes you have different dogs as far as a part of the bully breed, and with any breed there comes health problems and different things like that as far as like heart murmurs and different things. So those are kind of things that, of course, will slow any dog down because the
Yeah,
heart is not pumping and functioning the way it should. It doesn't have the correct beat, and so the blood flow and stuff is not going to allow him to be as active or have the correct movement. It's going to be kind of sluggish and different things like that. So that's kind of something that's in the bully breed, along with just allergies and just all types of things.
Yeah. Yeah.
well, I would say like allergies falls in a lot of the bully breeds itself,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
no
yeah.
matter
Of
which
course.
one.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but I just don't understand why and how like how these dogs can come with so many allergenic like defects that they can't have chicken. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, I just think it's more the chicken, of course, man. It comes with like antibiotics and things, so it's
Yeah.
like I
Byproducts and
would
all
be,
that.
yeah, yeah, I would be more because if you have to give a dog antibiotic and you it's constantly getting it within the chicken, it's gonna be resistant to it when it actually needed to
True.
actually fight off or ward off
Hmm.
whatever
Yeah.
that you're trying to get rid of at the time. So it's just gonna be more of resistant to it. That would be the thing for me. But I mean, I just think some of it is more like studying, dealing with pedigrees and studying pedigrees. That kind of will help not continue to double up on so many of the bad traits or triple so many of the bad traits that come along with the actual breed.
So when you got into this breed, so there's various breeds of the book, yeah.
Hmm.
What attracts you to go to the pocket over the XL standard and those things?
Just the more compactness of the dog. You're able to see more of the features as far as the muscle definition and things like that on a more compact, smaller dog on the frame.
Jonathan, can you um describe how many, I guess, classes are in the American Bully? Just because we do have a lot of American Bulldogs viewers. Like I really don't know much about the American Bully. I think it's a pretty cool dog, but I know that they have like exotic and
Yeah,
XL
you
and
you
you know.
you have the exotics. You have the Frenchies. The exotics are they kind of the bully breed in itself is I feel like still um, I'm not gonna say still building, but there are different things that's still being corrected. But the exotic is more of something that's definitely still uh, fresh
In the
on the
works.
table as far as being built works. Yes, as far
Yeah.
and I'm gonna say this: the correct exotic is still in the works, and it's still
Okay.
building blocks are still being put in place.
Okay.
You have the Frenchie, of course. Another class. You have
No,
micros.
wait, you mean like the Frenchie Frenchie?
Yeah, yeah. You. I mean,
No, no,
French
meaning
bulldog.
on the American
Oh,
Bully. Like,
you mean American Bully? Oh, okay.
yeah,
So
yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Exotics, yeah, the different classes: exotics, micros, pockets, standards, and XLs.
Okay, cool.
Got it. So, so you end up going to the pocket
Hmm.
for, for the compactness of the.
Yeah, just the compactness and the statue, um, and then just looking at a bully and just thinking about the name bully, you would see the bully features. I think would be attributed more towards something that's smaller and compact. Now, of course, you always have anomalies and just freaks that go with any class or whatever, but I just see it more prominently in pockets than any other classes.
I see what you're saying. Like from the stature, from the size of the each dog, the
Correct.
bully just for itself being bullied means like just a bully ass dog.
Right, right, right.
I got you. I got you. I got you. So the it's I don't want to. We're gonna get into this right here, but before we get into all that right here, man, I want to say what you were doing. What was it last summer with the
Uh,
stack offs and all that stuff like that?
yeah, that ended. Yeah, that probably ended around last summer, or last fall, I think.
Yeah.
Why did you give all that up?
Man, it's more of just trying to find a consistent co-host like you two guys, and then forming like a partnership and a bond or whatever with somebody that's willing to consistently do it. And it's more of when you find somebody, something doesn't go right, doesn't go well. It just you can't have. I mean, I would say you can't have two leaders, but you also have to have somebody that's willing to like ride beside and not try to be in the front, even if
Yeah.
they didn't think of it or found it or whatever. So that's kind of like my issue I had. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's gonna completely gone away, but I mean, what I'm saying, looking for, another co-host.
It'd be dope. It'd be dope to bring that back because that was a lot of fun. Like so when you were doing that, did you have like a specific goal? Was there a reason why you were doing the stack offs? Was
Uh
it education?
it more it more so started with group first. The bully group that I started.
Yeah.
It more so started with that and just building it and having guys that kind of manage the page and handle the page. And our partner Trinidad, man, he's in Pennsylvania. He does real well with it. He would be a great co-host, but I think his schedule is kind of conflicting. So from there, it's just kind of been difficult to find it right co-host. I have another. I did it a little bit with this Money Man Kennels, and then it just kind of died off after that. Um, but it was more so to start the group, and the group was a platform for you know smaller people, smaller breeders, to be able to have that platform to be able to go to be able to show, broadcast their productions, or just get help if they needed it, and just to inform the community of different things as far as breeding, good breeding habits, uh, show techniques and different things that you can do if you went to shows, and just to bring the community together because bully community sometimes can be looked at as being divided, and it was something to kind of just bring everyone together. And then it just kind of
So
started with stack offs. And stack offs was more, you get people to come around based off of like stack offs and things. They want to show their dogs, and I let people had prizes, money prizes to go along with it. You think you got free banners and group banners and different things like that to be part of the group. So it was just kind of to build a platform for the community and just kind of allow people to show their dogs who didn't get to go to shows and things like that.
That was pretty cool
like
because I
it
caught a
was.
couple of yeah. I saw a couple of those lives, but what I liked the most was that you were giving that exposure to breeders that are really not known and just
Right.
bring them out there so they could see their production because they might have some hidden gems in there that people didn't know about. So that was
Correct.
pretty cool. Yeah.
I was in the same place. Like I really do like just how you can bring anybody out of anywhere. And
Right.
people didn't know, like there was a lot of people that didn't know what was going on with their dog, just the education things that you were telling them. A
Correct.
lot of people learned off of that page and off of stack offs. What was it? Every Friday night? Every Friday night?
It was every Friday.
Yeah. So you, especially people who can't go to shows and things like that, or even
Right.
didn't have their courage to go to a show. Just
Right.
to see their dogs and people applauding and people winning, like voting for their dog, built up confidence to a lot of people. And I'll be honest, I think there's a lot of people that even got more confident going to the show, like going to the stack off, and actually start going to shows now.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Because you
you
got
did
to
a lot,
practice
like
on you got to
yeah,
practice on your technique, and you had people to not really critique your technique, but help you with your technique.
Yeah.
yeah.
To basically to improve it.
So I don't know. I think that's like we. Dennis and I and our buddy Gam, we kind of toyed around and talked about probably doing one for ourselves also. So we might be bringing that out in the mix, guys. So go ahead and look out for that because it might be coming soon. Yeah. So man, let's get into some more our styles type stuff.
Okay.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about paper hang.
Okay.
All right, man. So before we do that, like the origin of the bully itself. What is the origination of the bully breed? Like what lines, what breed, what created the bully, and what was the bully's? What's the bully's purpose? Do they have a working purpose, or are they just a breed?
I mean, it all started with Romeo and Barbie. It was, Staffordshire Terriers that's supposed to produce uh, Dax, guiding line
Hmm.
Dax, and that's where everything is supposed to started to originate was with that. Now, if some people believe that, some people don't. It's a story also that Dax was dad is of course a bulldog, but I mean
Yeah.
that's it just depends on what story you want to believe.
Yeah,
Say
yeah,
it
yeah.
like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
And
So,
but as far as the working, I would consider more of the working would be more of the classic style dog, more of maybe a standard. That would be I consider to be more of a working dog. I haven't really seen a pocket maybe get out and weight pull. Now you can have that, but I do see more of the classic dogs, which people sometimes consider to be more of, I guess, the terrier pit bull style dog.
Okay. So is the
so,
pocket more of a companion dog?
It's more of a companion dog. It's more of a companion
Okay.
dog, and you can have some pockets that'll get out and run around and play or whatever the case is. But I think you would get more of that working style dog, more with the classic versus a pocket.
so when you say working, like what are their working classes for that standard breed?
You mean what
Like
I guess
what
what
are their working
activity do
jobs?
they do?
Yes.
Oh, I seen more of the weight pulling. You actually have weight pulling competitions. Um, I have seen agility as far as of course weaving throughout an obstacle course, and things like that. Um, that's pretty much all that I have seen dealing with the working.
Jonathan,
And
with all the classes that are in the American Bully, do
Hmm.
you feel that the temperament is across the board the same, or like you said on the classic, you have a little bit more of a terrier, dog? Is the temperament, you know, across the board solid, or you
It
have?
kind of the temperament kind of varies. I think
Okay,
across sometime, and the main thing with temperament, I think, is just how you expose your pups. Like, what do you do with your dogs? I feel like
yeah,
because I feel like you can take a dog that's not really um don't eat my mustache, bro. I think you can take like more of a dog that's normal, a dog that will be like a very good companion, and if you put it in an environment that contributes towards just viciousness and
yeah.
um, you basically abusing it and not really caring for it and tending to it the way you supposed to, I think you can unlock that temperament that nobody really wants to. That
Okay,
that game dog
and
temperament.
yeah.
there we go. I was just about to ask, like, what temperament is that?
Yeah, that game dog
Is that?
temperament.
And for those that don't know, like we have viewers and everything that don't really dog and maybe might be learning. What do you mean
Mhm.
by game dog temperament?
Game dog is more of a dog that's used to hunt and that has that drive to kill. That's basically
Yeah.
their main role, and that's kind of what one of the, I guess, attributes of a pit bull. Man, you love the camera, huh? There's more
Yeah,
of the
right.
attributes of the pit bull more than its qualities or features is to get out and drive and hunt.
So, all right. So now that we got You have the pocket,
Hmm.
you got the standard, and you have the XL.
Hmm.
What makes all three different? Like what breed? Because
Uh,
I would say,
the,
like first, are they all compact of the same breed, but then something different to make them?
it's more of they are supposed to have the breed type, which is the a bully look, and but their height kind of determines the class that they would go in. Stuff.
Oh,
And
okay.
that's kind of how it varies.
Like from height. So what's
Yeah,
the
yeah, height.
what would be the pocket height?
I think the pocket height is, if I'm not mistaken, I think is micro ends at 13. So I think anything above 13 to 16 would be pocket, and I think 16 and a half to 18 would be classic. Now, the thing that makes the classic and the standard different is they both have the same height, but one has more bone or more bullier features, and that's what will be going to the standard class. And the more
Mm.
terrier dog, leaner dog, less bone will go into the classic. And the XL was anything after the standard height.
So with so we have all those different breeds, and these are all registered mainly. There's so many different registries you can put them on.
The main registry is ABKC. That's kind of more the founder of uh, the bully, and then everything else kind of originates off of it. So, yeah.
And then, so my question is, my biggest, like I've always thought, and I've always been thinking about, is that XL group. How do you get this dog so big?
That's man, that's one of those Dak stories, man. Do you believe do you believe what's on the paper, man? Because it's like I said, it's not really something that like, that that's really one of those things you can put it back up. That's really one of those things that is kind of what you believe. Um, Excel, that's I mean, that's one of those man. That's one of those topics, man. It's kind of uh,
There's different answers for that. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah,
it
yeah,
depends
It's
what you want to
different.
follow and
yeah.
believe. Yeah.
And it, like you said, it depends on what you want to follow and um, what you want to go to, because it's more of a thing about did this dog really produce this,
Yeah.
and how many. And the thing about it is, like I said, the, the earlier dogs were more on a pocket style, more on a classic and standard style, and then all of a sudden the XL just magically appeared. So I mean, it's kind of like one of
Yeah,
those things to
it
where,
did.
cause, and honestly, it hasn't been around as long as the pockets and standards have. So just like
Yeah.
the exotics and different things like that, micros, they haven't been around.
Oh, okay.
So, like for me, I've seen a lot of things. Some
And
things I've seen was
you guys probably been around a little. I know you guys probably been around longer than I have. So of course you
yeah,
guys seen more.
I've been around this for about a little over 20 years.
Yeah, you seen
But
way
I'll
more.
say, well, within the so it's like for me, the word like mum's the word because I don't want to put too much out there, but like and how and why.
Right.
But I've seen some things that I'm like, really, where I've seen. I'm just gonna who even cares. So I had to pick up some puppies,
Hmm.
and the sire to the puppy, the mom was not a bully, and they were ABKC registered.
Yeah, see, that's why you can get, like I said, it's and paper hanging is paper hanging can be it's just like scamming. You have to be
Yeah,
kind of careful about where you lay your pedigree around. or just have it out maybe at dog
But
shows and different things like that. You have to kind
Yeah.
of have that information kind of treated like top secret information because
Just like your social security. You don't want everybody to
ex-
yeah,
see
you
it.
don't want
Yeah.
everybody to
you
know.
don't want everybody to have that number because see
Yep.
once you get that number, then I mean you can do a lot of things with that number,
Yeah.
and once that number gets exposed, then it's just it's down here from there.
So, but when you so where you said like the temperaments across the board. So
Hmm.
with the paper hanging and the stories behind these things, when you think that it affect like the temperament of the breed.
Yeah, it will, and
So
and that's where you can yeah, that's gonna affect the temperament, and it's also gonna affect the consistency of the litter and what you're trying to get out of the litter. And to me, that's why it's so many anomalies. Um, I'm more of like big on like line breeding and inbreeding a little bit, not too much because of course, with anything, too much of is not good. And
yeah,
more of
yeah, yeah.
inbreeding and line breeding, you do it too much, you're gonna shrink your production and you're gonna start to double up on the bad traits. And I think that's kind of where so many of the allergies and different genetic defects come in because it's being done too much. And
So you think the more you inbreed, the more you're gonna have the genetic defect?
yeah, I think so. Because just
You
like you
do?
gotta think about, yeah, yeah, for sure. Because if your sought out attribute is a head, and you taking a certain a dam and you sticking them two together, and they create this bully head or whatever breed you're looking for, and you take that big blocky head and you take that to uh his cousin, and then from there you take that cousin and you run that back to an aunt. That's the same. And you never do an outcross. And once you keep doing it, the features, yeah, you getting the head that you want, but you also doubling up on genetic features as well that might not be as prominent if you would have just did it. You would have did it once or twice. But as you continue to do it, you 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 hone in on those defects as well as those attributes that you really want to lock in on as well. And sometimes, and you also can you do it too much, you're gonna shorten the stock. You're gonna shorten the feature, not shorten the stock, but you're gonna make the dog smaller. Your productions is gonna be smaller the more you keep dabbling into the same bloodline.
You know I'm about to go with this, huh, Dennis?
Yeah.
So
The the,
so
the
we
reason, Jonathan, is because we breed a little bit different. I'm all
Okay.
up for inbreeding and line breeding. I know
Okay.
Ernest is
yeah.
too. And with what you were saying though, to
And
an aunt or cousin, whatever, you still have a
mhm,
lot of genetic diversity in there because let's say the aunt's parents were two different dogs than the nephew, two different dogs. So genetics are already, you have different genetics on the background. So it takes a lot to really kind of like you said, have any kind of defect to it. If your lines, this is how I see it. If you inbreed, you're really gonna know what you have in your lines because you inbreeding doesn't create the defects. It's just expose them. Your lines already had them. It's just gonna bring them out, and that's where you select. The key is selecting.
correct.
That's
Yeah.
why a lot of people believe you inbreed, you're gonna make your stock smaller. No, it's not that. It's the way you're selecting.
Selecting.
Because in that, if you select the smaller pup, yeah, you're gonna start producing smaller dogs. But you might have a litter of 5, 6, but in that litter, there's gonna be one that might be a bigger dog. Then that's why selecting is usually the key. But I don't know, Ernest, you
Just
want to chime in this?
so because the way I see it is if you're health testing your dogs to begin with, you're gonna know like, okay, I'm not carrying HU, I'm not having NCL, I don't have it, and I don't have any allergies to begin with.
And see,
But it's
that's the
in
key. That's a key thing though, because you got to think about it. As far as on the bully side, that just became health testing. It just came about. Like
okay.
bullies just started
Because
health testing their dogs within most recent years. And
yeah,
and again, if you just like I said, if you constantly line breeding, inbreeding, you don't really know like what's
Yeah.
going on. You only see it with the pups, and
Yeah.
sometimes the pups, you're not gonna see it early on. So you could sell that pup, and then once that pup grows and matures, then that's when you see it. So at this point, you have an upset customer, or it
Yeah.
might not show, but again, they want to go and line breed it again off of you already line breeding it with no health testing done. Then they see it in their
Okay.
litter that they produced
Yeah.
off
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. Because in your world, because there's not a lot of health tests done, and
right,
ours
it
it
just
is.
now started to come
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
Right. See,
Yeah.
and
Because
that's why I say it's a little bit different as far as uh already having it previously done. Like to say with you guys are already health testing, you guys already been doing it. So you can line breed and inbreed because guess what? You already know, like, hey, well, I don't want to breed this one because he had
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Such and
this
such.
defect or
Yeah.
whatever. So I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
want to
yeah.
double up on this defect. So I can go across the street inbreed with theirs because he don't have the same mom within the third generation or whatever, grandmother or whatever. So I can go a different route with it.
Yeah. And like I'm with you completely all the way. But then at the same time, when you think about the breed, like we're just gonna say some of those that mum's the word, the story of Dax or whatever this, that, and the third. Are
Right.
there any DNA proof of what the breed really is?
See, now that's another thing that just came about because you're just doing DNA testing where
Yeah.
of course, we do embark now. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
you get embark, and that's where you're gonna tell what's going on. And I think that's important too, as far as if you trying to line breed and inbreed anything,
Yeah.
yeah,
or just breed. Period. You need to know
that part.
what probability of this dog that you're trying to breed, what is it gonna most likely bring out that's in this pedigree. So therefore
Yeah,
you would know, like, hey, well, this dog is in here one time and this dog had not bad cycles or whatever. My dog producing say 60% from this, then the likelihood of some straight stifles is gonna come about throughout his production because he taking 60% from this straight stifle parent.
have
And that
you done any DNA on your dogs and found out something that you didn't want in there?
not really. No, I haven't.
You
I
haven't?
haven't. I
You kind
haven't.
of scared to?
No, not really, man, because it's more man, like I say, it's more of like I say, the allergies and things like that. And
Mhm.
sometimes I think you can kind of tell about a dog as far as how it interacts, the the activity of that dog. And I mean, those are the type of things. And I I take my dog to the vet regularly, man, especially
Okay.
breeding stock.
Yeah.
Now, if
Yeah,
it's just a pet, of course, I'm just gonna take care of the home remedies for it. I'm just gonna give it what it needs, his
yeah.
heartworm, and flea and tick and different things like that. But if I'm
Don't.
planning on breeding stock and I'm planning on taking this dog to shows, it's gonna be at that vet regularly. I mean, there's just no ifs and buts about that.
Yo, I just realized something. Yo, you work for genetics and stuff like that, don't you?
I'm on the human side now. I used to do audits,
Yeah,
man, and
No,
like I
that's
said, I used
cool.
to be there. Yeah, yeah. So I
yeah.
used
I
to
was,
work
yeah,
there
yeah.
now.
Because
So
I was on the road one day and we were just going through it, through it. I was like, hold on, man. And you
yeah,
let me
yeah.
know you
So
work for genetics and stuff like that.
man,
So,
it was man, I deal with snakes, man. So people who have like snake farms and different things, or send their animals to zoos, or if you a horse breeder or different things like that, and you see like little different genetics. Say for instance, you have a snake farm, and say for instance, you see a snake that die. Well, you're gonna remove that snake, and you're gonna start to segregate those other snakes to see what's going on with the one that's already died. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna send that in, and we'll basically take every um, organ of that snake, and we're gonna take a piece of it to see what went on and what contributed to that. And of course, the doctors will read that, but everything on before that, I'll be a part of doing. We
Oh
taken,
man,
yeah, we
that's
had
cool.
I dissected horse legs and everything, man. So anything only thing that they couldn't do with certain exotic animals, they couldn't send like organs and things, stuff like gorillas and things like that. We couldn't do anything with it. But maybe like
Okay.
a skin
So,
sample to a gorilla or something, we could, but organs and things, no.
so I bet all that like helps you out in your own breeding, like learning
It
genetics
does,
and
it
things like that.
does, man. And that's why I said it's something, and it actually helped me to gravitate more towards health testing. And some people, like you said, some people are scared to health test,
Yeah.
um, just because they don't know what's in there. And of course, if you don't know what's in there, you don't want to open a can of worms. And
Pandora box there. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
you
it's
don't want to
Pandora's
do that
box.
because
Wait, but wouldn't
and
you think you would want to?
you would. And if you're in it for the
Because I
betterment
think
of
if
the
you
breed,
don't do it, if you don't do it and you still breeding and breeding and breeding, like you said, you're gonna have a disgruntled customer later. So we
yeah,
might as well
yeah,
just go ahead and nip it in the bud now because you're putting it all in you're literally building on top of it in your own yard because you're keeping a pup if you're a breeder. So you're
exactly. And
gonna just keep building on, as somebody used to say, a compound issue.
yeah, you know, and then that's the
Yeah,
thing, and more of a, and like I said, if you in it for the betterment of the breed, you want a health test. But if
Yeah.
you're not
yeah.
in it for the betterment of the breed and you in it for cash flow or whatever,
The
and
young thing
that's your
don't be there.
main, yeah, you shouldn't be in it because again, you're not making sure that your pups get health certificates. You're not even making sure your pups get dewormed. Like
Yeah.
you just passing on whatever just for a
Yeah.
quick buck.
Those are, as you said, like that was actually a situation today. You know, as Dennis. The dude hit me up about one of my pups that I got coming up. And he was like, "Oh, I'd love to see the parents." Okay. So I started sending pictures of the parents. Then I started sending grandparents. He was like, "How much?" Hold on, man, I ain't sent you the dad picture yet. So I just kept sending it. He asked me again, "How much?" Bro, I ain't telling you nothing. If you're not caring about the dog itself, lets me know you're trying to get something to make some
Yes, and that's the
money.
thing. That's and like I said, most people, man, it's and I like more of I look for more of like a show dog when I'm looking for something. I mean, and I know
Yeah.
everybody had their own opinion on the show world, and it's probably more than likely true. But I look for more of a show dog, and the reason why I say that because ultimately my end goal is to I mean everybody end goal should be able to create a flawless dog.
Yes.
And I
And
hear
when
people
you say you're
say
looking for a show dog,
what I'm
you
looking
say
for
you're
with a
looking for a
show
show
dog.
dog. Yeah. Yeah.
And what I'm looking for with the show dog is I want to see the parents and I want to see what the parents look like. And if the parents are this is this flawed out dog, then more than likely I don't want any stock off of that dog. But if I can see the parents and I see these parents going to the show ring, I see these parents winning, and you like I said, everybody had their own opinion about the show world. Some dogs win in the show world that's completely flawed. But by me being knowledgeable and I see that these dogs are not flawed, that's winning, I'm gonna want some stock off of that dog if the pedigree matches what I see in the dog.
Yeah, definitely.
So as far as okay, so you say, is there any features or things that stand out to you whenever you're breeding and pairing two dogs? Like what are those features you like to put in your dogs?
The features I like to put in the dog, couple things. I like the bone. I mean, because I feel like that separates. You can't say you have a bully dog and you with chicken legs, man. Like you can't say you have nothing in a bull breed with zero bone.
Yeah.
I think you have to have girth and chest spread, shoulders, and some I see that missing on a lot of dogs, man. And I just don't know how it's happened, but that rear, man, it's like people have the weakest rear dogs, man. That's the biggest. A weak rear dog, man. You can have a nice head, you can have nice shoulders, nice bone. You get to that rear and that rear weak, man. I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out, man,
Yeah,
because I'm
Yeah.
out
I'm
because
like, I don't like a dog with a straight stifle rear. Like I'm
that's the
not a big fan
thing.
of
I'm not if it and the rear includes a high rear, no angulation, which goes hand in hand with the straight stifles. It like I can't do anything with it. Like, I mean, and then if you watch a move, that's the work. That's
That's
the some of the
Ah, that
ugliest
that that little
movement,
over like this.
man.
Yeah.
Oh my god, man. And that's some of the
So
ugliest movement, man.
so since we on this, okay, man. So in every breed, and you and
Hmm.
I talked about this like personally one day, but
Right.
in every breed, we at the show ring. The show ring, the champion dog should be representing what the breed is, right? And we're seeing a lot of dogs that are not representing that because they're not structurally sound. Do you think these
Not at
dogs should,
all.
some of these dogs that are winning in the show ring right now should not be champed out?
No, sir. And that's why I say
Because
this where this my personal opinion on the show world. If we're having, and I think you see this with any other breed, with a Rottweiler, German Shepherd, Pug, whatever you want to name it. If you go to a show and you see that dog in that ring, that's going to be more than likely some of the better quality stock of that particular breed, if not the
yeah,
best stock. But if you go to an American Bully show and you see this dog walking around with straight stifles and different things, and just a weak rear assembly, like that should not be winning. And I feel like that shouldn't be winning. And I don't care what you say. I mean, he can have straight feet. I mean, I understand it. But if you had this crazy rear and just continue with defects, you shouldn't be winning. And to me, I feel like that's where the community is led wrong. Because if I see this dog winning, and of course, if I'm an owner of this ridiculous dog, I'm gonna post it because I'm winning. Because
yeah.
I'm living in a facade that I have some good stock, knowing that the rear is no good. And what's backing my facade and building momentum for me is that I'm winning in the ring for whatever reason.
But when you
And
say like winning in the ring is all you really need is points.
yeah, you get points, but you have people that win best of breed in nationals with trash rears, with straight stifles. I
that's
mean,
where that's where the kennel blind comes in, because like you
That's what I
said,
was about to get at. Because now you're making
people he
somebody
start
kennel
winning
blind.
and you think you have the shit out there, but you're kennel
Yeah.
blind because you're just winning. And then that's
What up,
that's where
Martine?
that's
and
where I
right,
think things go wrong. But I feel that the registry should be more strict.
correct,
If there's not the dog in front of them representing the standard,
right,
if it might be 10, 15 dogs in there and none of them represent the standard the way it's supposed to be, it shouldn't be
correct.
a
And
first
nobody should
place.
get a
Fuck
book.
it, give it
No,
a
no,
second
no,
and
There
a
I
should
third.
agree.
not. Yeah, no.
Right.
Yeah, but it
And my
falls on the
Because
registry. Yeah,
yeah, of
I,
course,
I
but
agree
and
with
that's
Dennis right
if
there.
everybody is supposed to be taking a test to become a judge, which is part of the qualifications, everybody should be judging off the same standard. It
yeah,
shouldn't
Yeah.
be, well, I like this one dog. And even when you go to a show, four different judges pick four different dogs most of the time. If
yeah.
you're going by the same standard, how can it be?
True.
Because every dog's supposed to represent the same standard that you studied and took a test on. And you can take these four different dogs, and these four different dogs don't even look similar. It's just about what you like at the time. So I'm paying for your
Yeah.
opinion, and it shouldn't be, because it's not an opinion when you have a standard.
That's a
It's
standard.
the
Yes.
standard, it's
Yes.
rules. And
Yep.
I
Yes.
feel like that's where you have a mixture all the way across the board. And I feel like that's why you have so many different dogs. That's why you have so many different classes. That's why you have so many different standards based on the classes, because it's what you picking at the shows. And if I don't know anything and I see a dog show in my hometown and I'm interested in this breed, what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go here because this is supposed to be something that's informative. And if I'm
Yeah.
going here and this weak assembly real straight stifle dog is what's winning, guess what I'm gonna do? Hey sir, hey
You'll
man,
invest in that
when you
dog.
gonna have some stock off of this dog?
Yep.
You gonna
Yes.
go invest in this. You gonna take this stock and you saw this win, you gonna take it to the show ring. But guess
Yep.
what? If you
You ain't
not
gonna
back
win.
behind those same politics,
No.
you not winning, and you're mad. And then I see so many people. oh, I'm ready to quit. I'm giving up on the dogs, and because again, you were sold something that wasn't
That didn't exist.
what it's
Yeah,
supposed. Yeah, you were sold something that wasn't legit.
yeah. I think the same thing. Like, cause there's a lot of things out there that I agree as far as what the representation of the breed should be, or even the evolution of the breed should be presented to us. I'm not seeing a lot of that.
No,
I'm seeing
and
a
my
lot
thing
of
is, and I hear so many people use this word, a breeding tool, and I mean it's my own opinion. I mean
you're not
I'm
going
not
to
the
use
most
every tool in your vehicle, in your shed, in your box to fix everything. Some tools are
correct.
just pointless. Like you don't need that.
Exactly. That's what I'm just about to say, man. I'm not the most. I mean, I can do, you know what I'm saying, a little carpentry and different stuff like that, crafting on the side or whatever. But I never took a tool that was broken and took that tool to fix anything.
Exactly.
I'm gonna go
Never.
buy a new tool
Yep.
and then I'm gonna
Yes,
fix the assignment that I have in hand.
Yep.
So
that's what's up. I
what
like how
I'm
you put
what
that.
I'm relating it to is you can't take a broken dog and say, oh, this dog is a tool. No, because that's where I feel like reading pedigrees and understanding things. With any breeding, it's a chance. Basically, it's a probability. You don't know the probability. That's why you have to go and get embark testing and different things like that, so you can kind of increase the likelihood of you understanding the probability and knowing if you want to go ahead and do that. But if you don't know the probability of something and you just put this stuff together, man, I don't know what you're gonna get when it come out, man. And I think
That's
You
when
true.
know,
people do this,
that's
when
true.
people do this breeding, people use this stuff called a tool and different things. I feel like you continue to set the breed back.
Yep.
I can agree with you on that because a tool you can't use a broken tool. You can't.
No,
And there's certain things that you know that's easy to fix within the breed,
right?
and the easier things to fix are in front. You can fix a short upper arm. You can fix a head type. You can
Right.
fix the easty westy. You those are easy. You can fix a top line.
And Easty Westy
But
could
the
be
one that
Easty Westy could be
yeah, it
environmental.
can.
Exactly.
It
It
could
Yep.
can
be
be Mo
environmental.
sitting
So
in a bowl, just sitting like this. Anything, just lift the
exactly,
bowl up. Be anything. But the hardest thing that most people don't realize, the hardest thing to fix is going to be
the
a
rear.
rear. It
Exactly.
takes it. I
All
was
you see
given.
is terrible rears.
I see that a lot. I see straight stifle rears left and right,
Yep.
and it takes 4 to 5 generations. If your pedigree is not stacked on solid rears, it's going to take you 4 to 5
I
to
get it.
make it.
And that's the
Yeah,
thing. And
and
then before somebody say, oh, it's no perfect dog. Correct. It's no perfect
good.
dog.
There's no perfect
But
dog.
but I wanna I feel like you can find 75 to maybe 85% good stock. Of
Yeah.
course, you
Yeah,
might have a bite that might not be the most scissor bite, or you have, like you said, maybe easty westy or something. But again, that could be contributed to environmental things or something like that, or you just put too much weight on the dog too early.
True.
And,
Yep.
and again, he couldn't manage it, so he had to, of course, gonna turn his feet out to be able to stay in the fine balance. But
yeah.
like you said, in the head type, you might have more terrier head type, you might not have the biggest head that you want or the blocky head. But again, you could take that to a blocky head dog, you could take that stock off of that, continue to blocky head in your generations to come. But like you said, that weak rear, man, that's almost taking over all bully breeds.
Like for me, when I first got into this, man, like I'll be honest, like it took me a minute to really understand. I posted a dog when I first got into it, and people were saying things about the dog, and I kind of took it personal. And I had a breeder that kind of like, kind of taught me a few things and was like, hey, they're not downing your dog. They're just telling you where the flaws lie in your dog. And that right there, I'll be honest, this is almost 20 years ago. That opened my eyes. And
But you see that same thing today though. As far
yeah,
as somebody post a dog and you post a
then they get
dog
all in their
in,
feelings because somebody's telling you
exactly,
corrective criticism things.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
And
bro,
and
and, and like my thing is, if I feel this, if whatever breed you're in, it doesn't matter, you're in Yorkies, you're in Bulldogs, you're in Bullies, you're in Borbles, there is a picture of a standard dog.
all right. Correct.
You take that image of that standard dog and then throw a picture of your dog over that image and see if it fits into that or even
Correct.
has the silhouette of that. If your dog don't have that, man, you might want to go
You
back
got
to the drawing board or maybe go buy
exactly
some
you
new tools.
exactly. You got some work to do, man. Because like you
Yeah,
said,
there's
it's just and to me, it's no sense in like continuing to breed something and it's not creating what you actually want, or it's not even creating something that's soundly
that.
correct. And to me, you just continue to liquidate the gene pool, no matter,
Yeah,
like you said, what it is, bulldog, whatever it is. And you continue to liquidate this gene pool. And just like with anything, you have new people coming in each and every day. And of course, somebody's going to look for something that's less
winning
value.
titles and
Not as,
yes,
yeah, winning titles and not, it doesn't cost as much. And something like that, they just in it to breed it. The first thing they're
yeah.
gonna be in their mind was, oh, let me go and make my money back. Let me go and put this
Yeah.
out for a stud. Let me go and find somebody else that got a dog that look like mine. Then you just continuing to just liquidate the gene pool. Now you just have dogs all over the place with weak rear assemblies. Shoulder set is not correct. You just continue to have all these things and you just compounding the issue as far as trying to better the breed.
Yeah.
So so we're with all the. Is there any advice that you can really give to somebody that's new, that's coming into the breed before they even get into your breed? Like, what could you tell someone? If somebody's coming to you buying a puppy and they want to do a breeding dog, this, that, and the third. What advice would you give?
First, first I would say study the breed first. Like get on, find a platform or something that you can get advice on about the dog and understand that it's gonna be good and it's gonna be bad that comes along with this dog. But
Yeah.
the more that you understand the bad about the dog and you understand things that don't belong or things that might come along and how to counteract those things, I feel like that's gonna help you develop into the future. And finding, I think finding a mentor would also be a good thing as well. Now,
Yeah.
sometimes they can kind of be kind of hard depending
Hey,
on.
don't let the blonde lead the blonde though,
That's what I was about to say.
because
That can kind
somebody
of
got
be
to play the
hard.
dog.
Yeah, it could be kind of hard, and it could go. It's gonna go twofold. That's gonna go also the blind leading the blind by somebody who has bad stock, and you going
Yep.
investing in the bad stock, and then this bad stock is leading you down the wrong road. And I feel like studying yourself to show yourself approved, I think that's gonna help you along with that as well by finding the right mentor. And also that same finding the right mentor, sometimes you looking for people they might not even want to be a mentor. So
Yeah.
that's gonna give you a cold shoulder also because you're gonna think like, well, this person gonna help me. Like understand, like again, study, you have to show yourself approved because you have to look at things and understand things and like you said, see the standard and look at dogs. I mean, because you can go and find some of the most prestige dogs on YouTube, movement wise, different things like that. With pretty much, I'll say probably any breed. I know the bully breed you can because it's just more of a marketing tool for them.
Yeah.
But just being able to see defects and being able to see good stock versus bad stock.
Do you feel
Exactly.
that maybe if they're starting off, like, like you said, it's kind of get a mentor, but study the standard and stuff. But do you believe that maybe even attending some shows, just so you could kind of hear some of these judges break down the dog and kind of have an understanding of what's the
Yes,
standard?
that would be
You
that's another I think point that should be taken into consideration once you get into it. Going to shows, seeing judges,
Yeah.
and break down the dogs. And again, if you once you take your knowledge that you see and you take that and you find a winning dog that applies to that knowledge, and then you
Yeah.
go to shows, you can apply that to what the judge is doing. And if that's correct, then you have basically check the same box 3 times. You studied it,
Yeah.
you saw it on film when you studied it on your own, and you saw it with this judge breaking it down in the ring. Now here's where things kind of become a little the gray area. You take your knowledge and you apply it to what this judge is doing in the ring, then either you gonna go to
So I
what
guess
they're
you'll second
saying.
guess yourself. Yeah.
Yes. So therefore, I think that's the reason why I think studying it and applying it for yourself should be um, something I think is kind of override what the judges are saying.
Yeah.
If you feel that
Yeah.
if you feel that what they're choosing is not um, what should be chosen, and then I feel like that's when a mentor can come in, as far as that mentor might have seen this already or went down this road of something that shouldn't be picked that was actually picked. And they can kind of tell you, hey, what you studied and the knowledge that you studied was actually correct. And then that mentor can pull out a dog and show you, hey, this is what you studied. This is what you saw when you went and looked up videos and things. So therefore they can be that, checkpoint to saying that this is the route to go.
No, that
I'm with that.
definitely, yeah. And
Yeah.
then as well, even if let's say you buy your stock, man, go to these shows, have the judges break them down, and take that criticism as good, because you
Yeah.
might not see something that they see, and then once they
Correct.
point it out, you're like, oh shit, I never,
That
I
can
didn't
be an
think
eye
about that.
opening thing. And that's
Yeah.
why I say
Yeah.
even and with the dog and with any bully breed, you have to have an open mindset, and you have to
Yeah,
understand that there is no perfect dog. Just because that's your dog, that's just because you're looking at that dog every day, you cannot become kennel blind to the fact that there's things on this dog that I have to correct.
yeah,
And it's not the worst thing in the world, because you have some stock that's a starting point to a good building block. But you can't,
Yeah.
like you say, you can't take it negatively just because they didn't pick your dog, or just
yeah,
because they told you that this same dog was flawed to some sort. And I mean, of course, you go into a show with 4 judges, they tell you the same thing 4 times by 4 different people. 9 times out of 10, that's the truth about your dog.
yeah,
Yeah.
Especially if you're looking at this dog and you looking at another dog in this ring, and this dog has a better rear assembly or has more angulation, and your dog is basically a straight plane. That's You have to take that and you have to go get you some better stock, or deal with the puzzle of trying to piece together and
yeah.
breed to get you a
Yeah.
better to get you some better stock.
Well, speaking of stock, before we get up out of here, man, what is there anything you got coming up in the future you want the people to know about? Like any plans? You got any studs? Studs? You got any studs that's open? I know you got that puppy. You got any breedings coming up?
Man, that little pup there, man, is he's turning out pretty nice now, man. I actually
How
like
old is he?
he's about to be 11 weeks.
Okay.
And so I mean I like his
Did it,
angulation. Hmm.
is this one of your boys right here?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
my stud there, man. That's Billy Guns, man. He's he's one major away from BRC champion. He's 5 points away from ICBR champion, and then after that, we're gonna venture off to ABKC with him. You know, dude.
Nice, nice.
And
Yeah,
my
that's a
little,
nice
nice,
looking
nice.
boy.
my
Yeah.
You putting
little,
in work in there.
yeah, man, we been on the road, man. So he's currently studying now. His stuff he now is 1500, um, 500 lock in for him, and like I said, my little buck whiskey, man, he's getting trained right now, man. So
That's what's up. That's
he's
what's
gonna
up.
be ready to rock it out, man. But I do have some breedings coming up with him. I actually have a friend of mine. He called me today and told me his girl is coming in to eat, so we should have some pups baking in a couple months on him.
Nice,
You
nice.
know what?
And
The American Bully kind of reminds me a lot like the American Bulldog. How when they're pups, they look a certain way, and then so suddenly they fucking transform, and you're like, oh shit, I didn't even
shit.
think
Yeah,
this was
Yeah.
what
yeah,
this
yeah.
They're
is.
like, where
Yeah,
this go? Yeah, yeah.
And
yeah,
Oh,
and that's and like I said, that's they transform, but again, like I said, if you had that parent, man, you can kind of look at that parent and you can kind of see what's going on with their parent, how they look at the time their pup, and then you can kind of go back and look at their pedigree, and you
Yeah.
can kind of apply some of those things, and you can kind of attribute that to some of the wow factor that your pup will gain as it gets older.
Well,
Nice.
well, Jonathan, it was a great episode, man. I'm glad you were able to come on with us
Man, for sure, man.
and
Just
get this
thank
going
you guys for
started.
having me, man, and
No,
Man,
for
no
you
sure,
doubt.
guys
man.
keep these platform rocking, man, and
Oh, we ain't going nowhere.
yeah, you guys keep this platform rocking, man,
All
for
right, man. But
sure.
we'll keep you posted on everything, especially when we start doing the stack offs and stuff like that. All right.
I'll definitely be back around for that, man.
All
No,
right, man.
appreciate it,
But
Jonathan.
all right, man.
All
I
right,
guys
fellas.
have a
Y'all,
Y'all
good
have a
night,
good
man.
night.
y'all too.